Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back to the Positivity Podcast. My name is Tay, and thank you for pressing play. Today we are starting something new. Um, every Friday we are going to do something called Forgiveness Fridays. This right here is our very first one. Um, Now, depending on what time I get this posted, it might be Saturday, but you know what? Better late than never. So, because honestly, life still goes on. As much as sometimes I would just love to sit down, record, create, and get everything out exactly when I plan to, I still have a life to take care of throughout the day, and I still have responsibilities. I still have things that need my attention, and sometimes by that time I finally get a moment to sit down. I'm tired. And today, mentally, oh my goodness, I am at what I like to call the calmest crash out. I'm tired. My mind is tired. A part of me is ready to call it a day, but I'm still here because I took the time to write this. I took the time to think about what I wanted to say. And even on a day like today, I still choose to settle down with myself, sit here and put it all out there. Maybe it didn't happen at the exact time I wanted it to, but I showed up, you know? And honestly, I can't think of a more fitting way to begin our very first Forgiveness Friday, because today we're talking about forgiving ourselves. But before I can even get into it, I want to tell you where Forgiveness Fridays came from. About 2 years ago, or so, me and my friend, we were just like, let's do our podcast. So we was doing our first little setups and stuff. And of course me talking about like, I want to do my own podcast as well. We do ours together, and I'm like, you should do yours too. Like, do you a podcast too. So in the midst of that, my dad called one day that we were about to do our podcast. And he was like, what about forgiveness? And immediately, like, something clicked between, me and my dad. We're on the phone. We're like, oh, yeah, Forgiveness Fridays, just like that. The name came, the idea came, the seed was planted, and then I didn't do it. 2 years went by. And you would think that I would look at those 2 years and say, damn, I should have started this a long time ago. And yeah, maybe I could have, but I'm not going to beat myself up about it because here I am. I showed up. Maybe I had the title 2 years ago, but I didn't have the message yet. Maybe I understood the word forgiveness, but I haven't lived enough of the lesson yet. And now, here I am. My first Forgiveness Friday. And when I asked myself who I wanted to forgive first, I realized something. When we hear the word forgiveness, our mind usually goes straight to somebody else who hurt me, who betrayed me, who disappointed me, who owes me an apology. But today, I'm not starting with them. I want to start with me. I choose to forgive myself. I forgive myself for the things I knew better about and still did. I forgive myself for the times I stayed too long. I forgive myself for the times I left too soon. I forgive myself for ignoring my own intuition. I forgive myself for the decisions I made while I was scared, hurt, angry, confused, lonely, overwhelmed, or just simply trying to survive the version of the life I was living at the time. I forgive myself for every time I look backwards and said, Tay, you should have known better. Because maybe I should have. But knowing better and being ready to do better is two different things. And I forgive that version of me too. I forgive myself for procrastinating. I forgive myself for doubting myself, for shrinking myself, for comparing myself, for starting things and stopping, for having a million ideas and sometimes not knowing which one deserves my attention first. I forgive myself for every dream I thought I was too late to. Because maybe some of those things I thought I missed aren't gone. Maybe they're still waiting for me. What if you aren't too late? What if the idea is still there? What if the dream still knows your name? What if what belongs to you hasn't forgot about you? And maybe forgiving yourself means finally releasing the punishment you've been giving yourself for not becoming who you thought you should have been fast enough. I am not going to keep putting today's version of me on trial for yesterday's decision. I can take accountability without hating myself. I can admit I was wrong without deciding that I am wrong. I can learn from something without living inside of it forever. And I can forgive myself without pretending everything I did was okay. Forgiveness doesn't erase accountability. Forgiveness release the sentence. So today I release myself. I forgive the old me. I forgive the scared me. I forgive the angry me. I forgive the confused me. I forgive the one who didn't know. And yes, I forgive the one who did know and still made the wrong decision, because she deserves forgiveness too. And from this Friday forward, we're going to talk about forgiveness, forgiving family, forgiving friends, forgiving partners, forgiving people who may never apologize, forgiving people who don't even believe they did anything wrong. And we're going to talk about something else too. Forgiving without reopening the door. Sometimes forgiveness doesn't sound like, I don't hate you anymore. I don't need revenge. I don't need you to understand. I don't need an apology to continue my life. And I still don't want you sitting at my table. That's forgiveness too. But before we can get to everybody else, this first Forgiveness Friday belongs to us. So wherever you are right now, think about one thing you've been holding against yourself. Just one. And say, I forgive myself for doing the best I could with the version of me I was at the time. I release the shame. I keep the lesson. And I give myself permission to move forward. This is our first Forgiveness Friday. Now, it might be a little late. It might take me a while to finally bring this idea to life. And you want to know something else? And it's not perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect. The fact is, I showed up. And if you are still listening to this, you showed up too. I'll see you next Friday.